Hi guys, welcome back to Saving Salvage and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are finally back on the Audi RS4. So guys, we are finally back on the Audi RS4. I hope that little bit of footage you just saw there maybe familiarised yourself with what we had been doing, stripping it down and how much of a mess this place is. But I just didn't want to disturb it because I know where everything is, and the minute I start tidying things away to maybe I've got another car on the ramp, I'd have just completely lost where things were. So I've left it basically completely untouched for a couple of weeks now. Luckily I was kind of busy with work anyway, so it didn't make too much difference. So with regards to, well actually first of all, if you do enjoy these videos guys, please do like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, please do head over to my Instagram, which is saving_salvage. And if you did want to support the channel or anything like that, then I do have some t-shirts and some hoodies in my merch store. If you wanted to head over there and check those out, that would be great. So where we're up to and what we have been waiting for parts wise. So for those of you that remember, all our 8 pistons are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Piston number 1 was the issue, and as you can see it is completely bent. And as you can see to my right here, I have a new conrod and piston. This has come out of I think actually a year older car, but it had done hardly any miles. As you could probably tell, it's it's a lot cleaner than this one. And what I have also done guys is I've weighed both conrods and pistons, and they are both identical weight of 755 grams each. So that is absolutely fine, so there should be no problems with engine balance or anything like that, so that is fine. But what we are going to do is I've ordered some piston rings just to replace those for some new piston rings. I did speak to the engine guy about reboring the bore for new piston rings, but he said not to bother. He said it'll only take a couple of revolutions to wear in anyway. And I actually remember from when I used to work at Audi, there was a recall on the 1.8 or might even be the 2-litre TFSI petrol engines found in Q5s and A4 and A5s. And the TPI was for oil consumption, and it was to replace all 4 pistons and rings. We never had to hone the cylinder walls at all for the new piston and rings. Audi never told us to do that, and we never did it. And I must have done probably 6 of those engine rebuilds myself with new piston and rings. Never an issue, so I don't see why it should be an issue here. So new piston rings on this one, and I've also just had to emergency order another set of piston rings because number 7, it is actually, as you can see here, look, the top ring, I don't know if it's going to pick it up, there you go, the top ring's bent, and if I were to force it inside, it gets stuck and it doesn't sit in properly, so I can't reuse that piston ring. I do kind of remember when it came out, it had come out like that anyway, so I have just ordered another set of piston rings for number 7 as well. However, all the others are all okay, and they will be going back in, so we can essentially do away with this piston now. That was the fault for the engine seizing, and bring it forward and have a new one in place here. So what we're going to be doing today guys is we are going to be cleaning up all these pistons. As you can see, they are rather dirty with carbon buildup. I've bought a brass brush and I have got some thinners, which people say is good to use, and we're just going to clean up all the carbon deposits around the top of the piston and around the sidewalls. And I've already got my bearing caps here, all my conrod bolts ready, and I have got some new shells. So I'll show you what I was waiting. This is my box of goodies from Audi. I'll just get this up here. So first of all, I've got 2 head gaskets down here, one for each V, one for each bank. So we've got those. What we've got here, injector repair kit, so all new seals for the injectors. There's my piston ring set for this one, and as I've just said, I've got another one coming. Head bolts, 20 head bolts in here, that's fine, and 1 big end bearing, for some reason 1, and then they've sent me the rest in these bags for some reason. So I've got full set of big end bearings and more bearings as well. Yes. So yeah, that's all we've got. That's all we needed. So that's all we needed from Audi parts wise. I have also ordered, Audi wanted £19 for a small tube of sump sealant. I mean, it's pretty generic stuff, so I just went on Amazon and ordered 2 tubes of sump sealant for half the price. So we've got that as well. And that is pretty much all we need really, I think, for parts to start building this engine back up. So I think now what we're going to do is crack on and start cleaning up these pistons, ready to be refitted. Try and fit into medium gloves because I can't get any gloves delivered. There we go. Right, so I have got some brass bristle brushes and a little pot, and I've also got some thinners, which will be fine. Just put it in here. That'll be enough. And I'm just going to clean the tops of the pistons just to get the carbon build-up off. This new piston I've got must have come out a fairly low mileage engine because it's pretty much immaculate. So we shall just carefully, as you can seal it. Getting it off nicely. So I'm going to speed this up. So there we go, look. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect, but as you can see, it is a lot better than before. So that will be fine. I'm now going to stick it on a bit of a time lapse and we'll get to work and go through all 7 of these. Right, so I actually even got bored time-lapsing cleaning these pistons, so I've just gone ahead and done it all, and this is the end result. They're not all perfect, but they are a lot nicer than before. So there's still a little bit on. I mean, I've spent ages scrubbing, trying to get those last little bits off and couldn't. It's very minor and won't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. But they all are nice and clean now. All very good. So what we're going to do now is all the piston rings are all fine on cylinders 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8. So we're going to now put the piston rings on cylinder or piston 1 and 7. I've got my new set of piston rings here. So I'm just going to check the old ones just to make sure I get them the right way round. Carefully does it. Right, so that is the oil ring on. Next is that ring with the lip, which is this one, and the lip faces down. There we go, there's the rings installed on cylinder piston 1, so I'm now just going to go ahead and fit them on number 7 as well. You don't need to see that, you've already seen it once, so catch you back in a second. Right, so piston rings all on 7 and 1. I've got a little tub of oil here, and I have my new shells here as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually go ahead and install the pistons, but first we need to put the bottom shells on, or the shells that go onto the conrods. And to do this, what we must do, just clean it all up, and as you can see, just give it another clean. So as you can see, there are recesses for the bearing to go, and it just sits in that groove there. But before that, what we need to do is put a layer of oil in between the conrod and the bearing. So I'll just dip my finger in and just completely cover it. I'll cover the bearing as well, just so both sides are done. And then what we want to do is just slot it in. There we go, that bearing is now fully in place, look, and that piston is now ready to go in. So what I also am going to do is just put some oil. I know this is the old piston, so there should be oil in there as well, but I'm just going to drab a little bit of oil just in the bearing pins in the conrod as well, just everywhere that basically has a moving part, so there's oil in the parts before the engine will start. And also now what you want to do is, obviously we have 3 piston rings here, and obviously each one has a hole, has a gap from where it was inserted, and you want to make sure that these are 120 degrees apart each. So we'll have one gap here on one ring, here, and then here for the others. So we just want to make sure they're set apart. I'll get my piston clamp, and I'll just make that a little bit bigger. And now what we're going to do is put it over down to here, and then I'm going to get my little ratchet and do it up. And you just want to make sure, I'm just going to do this off camera so I can concentrate, but I just want to make sure all the rings are seated properly and it goes completely tight in there and there's no gaps. The piston rings are completely now seated in that position, and what I've done is just left a little gap at the bottom, so when we put the piston into the bore, it can start by sitting inside, and then I'll take you over and we'll show you. This is cylinder 1. So this is what we're going in, and also what we have here on the top of the piston, you probably won't be able to see it, there is an arrow which points in that direction, which indicates to the front of the engine. So we have to just make sure they're all in the right position. Bearings on. So then what we're doing here is just putting our piston in. It will just sit inside like that. So now it's semi-located, and it's a bit difficult because obviously when you're going to push the piston down, the conrod's kind of, because it's a V, the conrod's kind of flapping at an angle. So we're going to have to try and put my arm under, because I'm on my own, I'm going to have to try and put my arm under to keep the conrod central so it then fits over the crankshaft. But what I'm going to get is just a little hammer. And we're just going to use the bottom end of the hammer and just tap it. Just want to check. Okay, yep, that's fine. It's not going to hit the crankshaft. Right, the other important thing now is to make sure that your piston ring clamp stays completely flush with the bottom of, or the top of the block, because what you don't want, which is quite difficult actually when you've got a swinging engine, is for the piston ring to pop out the bottom and you're trying to hammer the piston in when it's not even located. So try and push down. There we go. There's one in. Piston one on the wonker bit, but we'll straighten her out. Oh. Right, so I've just gone and got my cap. So as again, I've done the same thing, put the bearing on. I've oiled both sides of it so it's completely greased. Don't want really grease on that bit. So these conrods are a little bit different. A lot of them are crack fitted, so you'll have the conrod, and to separate the to the bottom, the cap to the conrod, they usually crack them, so then it's a perfect fit. But these ones aren't actually crack fitted at all. They are completely flush, but they've got locator pins in here and here. So slightly different, but I guess the same outcome. So I'm now just going to fit to the bottom of the conrod, if I can see it. Right, so there we go, if you can see it here. Piston one is now it's all corrected now, it's all the right angle. And as you can see, I've now connected the crankshaft, so now it goes up and down as it should. And if you can just see, if I can show you at the bottom, if you can just see under here, and there is the cap. Oh bloody hell, there's the caplet, and I've done the bolts. I haven't done the bolts up, I've just done everything up finger tight. I'm going to do all the bolts up at the same time. So I'm going to wait. So I'm going to wait until they are all done. What I'm going to do opposing pistons. So I'm now going to go and do number 5 because they both sit on the same part of the crank. So I'm going to do 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8. I'm going to do it like that. We are halfway there with fitting the pistons, and all, touch wood, everything has gone smoothly so far. The pistons have nicely gone into the bores. So these two, 5 and 6, are fully in position. The bolts are done up finger tight for the moment. They haven't been done up any tighter than that. And the same again with pistons 1 and 2. They are in position on the crank. Again, all bolts in, and again nicely went in nice and smoothly. So we are 50% there with fitting the pistons, and unfortunately guys, that is where I'm going to have to stop today's video. So that's all we've got time for in today's video, guys. I know you're going to be saying, well, all you've actually done is fit 4 pistons, and yes, that's exactly pretty much what I have done. However, the process to get there was a little bit longer than that, and I gave you a bit more in depth about cleaning the pistons, fitting the piston rings in the correct way, correctly locating them as well, the 120 degrees each, the gap for the piston rings, and also showing you how to use the piston clamp and putting the pistons back into the cylinder block as well. So a little bit more in depth than just fitting 4 pistons, but yes, that is essentially what we have done in today's video. I just thought it was better to get a video out to you guys now, even if it was not much, rather than wait another possibly week with a longer video. So bite-sized chunks is better than one big chunk, so that is what you have got today. But good news is I will be working on the RS4 engine this week as well, and hopefully we will be getting the cylinder heads back on in the next video, and then we'll just continue the rebuild basically. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Cheers guys.